Yo, what's goody? Yeah, this the break room stream coming live from the break room. But y'all just wanna get on here and talk about the fights coming up this weekend, January 14th. You know what I mean? We got a top ranked ESPN card for the heavyweights. We got the co-main, uh my homie Johnny Rice, uh good prospect, undefeated. He's going against an Italian by the name of was it Viania or something like that, I believe. I just butchered his name, my bad. But the Italian cat, he 10-0, 9 KOs. You know what I mean? So he's no slouch. It's gonna be a nice I guess a nice little step up fight for Johnny Rice. Um I forget Johnny Rice's record. I believe he's like 8-0, 7 or 8-0, something like that. Uh, but Johnny Rice is a problem too, yo. I fuck with Johnny Rice heavy. Uh, nice heavyweight, good punches, nice little jab. You know what I mean? I haven't seen much of him. I think I seen one of his fights live. So it'll be interesting to see him fight live again this weekend coming up. Uh, you know what I mean? That's a nice little it's a nice little scrap. You got Johnny Rice versus Viania, the Italian, 10-0, 9 KOs. Uh, and he has a draw also. The Italian cat has a draw. So he's 10-0-1 with 9 KOs. Uh, got like a 96, 94% knockout ratio. But uh, he's still green. You know, he's still freshly new. So we can't really give him, props for the KO streak. But then you got the main event. My homie Big Shot Shaw, you know what I mean, out of St. Louis, uh, heavyweight 6'4", you know what I mean, coming in as a late replacement for Efe Ajagba. Efe Ajagba's opponent, I believe, got hurt in the gym from working out. So Big Shot is his replacement. Steph is Efe Ajagba's replacement. And man, this is one of those. This is one of those joints I can't wait for. Uh, I would love to see. I can't wait to see Stephen Shaw match up against Efe Ajagba live in the ring. Uh, I want to see what Efe got in him. You know what I mean? Because I called his last loss he got with Luis Ortiz. Uh, I told I'm not Luis Ortiz, Frank Sanchez. I told people Frank Sanchez was gonna. I told a couple people Frank Sanchez was gonna knock Efe Ajagba out. Uh, and he did, yo. He did. My prediction was correct. Uh, and this again, this is just me analyzing the sport and analyzing certain fighters and their attributes and knowing what they're great at and how they utilize it. And that was pretty much how I was able to determine Frank Sanchez versus Efe Ajagba. If you look at Efe Ajagba, he fights really wild a little bit. If you look at it, he has great, excellent punch placement, but a lot of his punches be off the mark because he swing. It's the way he swings. Sometimes it can be a bit wild, and it can throw him off, and it leaves him open. If the Ajagba gets hit a lot, because the way he throw his punches, it leaves him open in the spot to where he can get counted, and that's how Frank Sanchez was able to capitalize on him last October on the all heavyweight card they had in October. You know, what I mean, Frank Sanchez, just like I thought he would. He counted and he timed them perfectly, and that's that Cuban style of boxing. The Cuban style of boxing is one of the most underrated one of the most flourished uh, countries to have great boxing science. You know, the whole sweet science. Uh, if you look up the word sweet science in the dictionary, you'll see Guillermo Rigondeaux right next to it. Because if you want to modern yourself after the sweet science, Guillermo Rigondeaux and maybe Erislandy Laura are two of the most uh, two of the most technically sound boxers in the sport. And it's just the way how Cubans how they pattern their fight style. Uh, it's more defense. It's more of a defensive side, but they use offense also. It's like defense to them is more important, and they use defense to give them a good offense. If you know what I'm saying. Just like in football, they say in football and basketball, they say a good defense beats the best offense, and it's pretty much how like Cubans they utilize both of those into one, but they focus mainly on the defense. The defense is what carries them, you know, throughout the fight, and they have crazy boxing IQ, you know, when it comes to offense. So that's going back to Efe Ajagba. I knew Frank Sanchez was going to pick him apart. I just didn't know when he was going to get the knockout or what round. But I was fairly close. I believe I said like round 8. I think he got him out of there like round 9, 10, I believe. I think it was round 9. He got him out of there. But this is one of those joint show. I believe Steph Shaw can be the next man to knock out Efe Ajagba. And it's not, I'm not calling Efe Ajagba a slouch or he's not good or nothing like that. Efe Ajagba is the goods. Efe Ajagba can box. He's a phenomenal boxer. But there's a lot of holes in his game. And I believe a lot of heavyweights can capitalize on that. If they can easily pick him apart the way Frank Sanchez did. You know, I don't want to speak too much about on who I feel can, you know, pick him apart other than Big Shot and uh, Frank Sanchez. It's a few more heavyweights I believe will pick him apart easily. But I don't want to get into that because he's not fighting none of those. He fighting Big Shot Shaw. So I want to focus on Steph Shaw. Give Stephen Shaw his flowers and his props, and not try to overshine him with people we already know. So I wanna take this time to give my homie Big Shot Shaw his flowers. You know what I mean? He's a stupid, phenomenal up and coming heavyweight. You know what I mean? And he's straight out of my hometown. Well, not my hometown, but he's from my backyard, St. Louis. I'm from East St. Louis, Illinois. You know what I mean? So St. Louis is just right across the bridge. Uh, so yeah, man, it's dope having a fighter uh, in this era. Uh, close to home. I can definitely support, and it's good to have a brother. You know what I mean? That's close to home. That's from home, repping. You know what I mean? So it'll be dope to see this weekend coming up, cause I just can't wait to see him explode on FA. See what kind of tools he got in his toolbox, what all he gonna bring, cause he coming with that thunder son. Stephen Shaw's coming up. He coming to blaze him. You know what I mean? And it ain't gonna be no uh it's not gonna be no fun and games in there. You know what I mean? Come fight night. You know what I mean? So we gonna see what all FA been working on, what all he got. You know what I mean? Cause it's gonna be a long night for him if come uh round one is gonna determine. You know what? I'm not gonna say round one. I'll say round 1, 2, and 3. The first 3 rounds is going to determine the rest of the fight on who got the pace and who's going to be playing catch up. The first 3 rounds is going to determine, you know what I mean, whoever dictate the pace from then on. That's that's how we gonna know, you know what I mean, who gonna win the chess match. But you know what I mean, it's it's just I just can't wait, man. It's gonna be a phenomenal fight for the heavyweights. You know what I mean? It's a dope heavyweight card. Uh, I mainly can't wait to see Johnny Rice. I fuck with Johnny Rice. Johnny Rice, he don't get a lot of props, or a lot of people don't, talk about him as much because a lot of people don't know Johnny Rice like that. And the sisters, Nick J and Boxiana had him on sometime last year. That was a dope interview. That was a dope segment they had with Johnny Rice. Uh, so Johnny Rice. He been out here for a minute. He been out here getting his feet wet for a while. And you know what I mean? I can't wait to see him back in action come this Saturday. Uh, but I mean that's all I got, y'all. I ain't want to hold y'all too long. Just want to come on here and bless y'all with the up and coming fights coming up this weekend. All heavyweight card, top rank, ESPN, ESPN Plus. You figure deal me. You know what I mean? It's Judah Ben. Uh, we live from the break room, son. I mean, we never slack. I'll go live anywhere, straight up. You know what I mean? I could be, my girl could be having a baby. I could be in the delivery room going live. Nah, I'm just playing, yo. But yo, T-Dub T, we here. We never slacking. You know what I mean? We ain't going nowhere, yo. So get used to us. We ain't going nowhere. We staying right here on this channel. So if you ain't heard about us, get familiar. And if you don't get familiar, we're gonna make you familiar. Cause you ain't gonna have no choice but to respect and get down and lay down. You feel me? Straight up. This is Judah Van. We here, coming to you live. We out. Just like that.